Welcome back, everybody. Today, Tuesday, February 27th. Been kind of quiet the past couple weeks. Been working on the bike, actually. Got the engine back like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. Got it in. Got pretty much all of our stuff back onto it. So, engine in, primary in, new clutch in. Got a clutch, new Trask clutch basket in here. Also put the Screaming Eagle compensator in. I bought a new chain, probably a month or so before the engine went down. So new hub inside there, the compensator, really everything is new inside that primary drive. So it should be good to go. Next up front here, I got the new oil cooler installed, the Jag thermostatically controlled dump over to the oil cooler, so it waits till the engine is warmed up to temp before it starts running oil through the cooler. That's in the new oil filter. With that being said, next up front end, it's all back together. We are looking at the new Geezer engineering coming shortly. Scott is prepping it right now. I think it's already been off to anodizing. You guys are going to be surprised to see this beautiful piece once we get it in installed. Up front, the handlebars, been having issues with the Motion Pro throttle. Really, these cables are way too short. These are set up for, these are originally for an XR 1200. So got the XR 1200 cables. Figured that all my barrel ends were all going to be the same. They are. I do need about a ½ inch more cable on the end of this. I've thought about making some modifications to the bracket here on the HPI, but I can get some custom cables made. I've got a call in to Motion Pro right now to have some custom cables made. So hopefully we'll see that here shortly. Exhaust is back on. My mid controls are back on. They're still way too far forward. I'm definitely gonna have to get something going on a rear set here. Get these things back. It's probably 8 inches or more. They need to come back and possibly even up just a bit. Once I can get my feet back, that's going to drop my knee down quite a bit here in the front, which I can possibly eliminate this. We'll put my knee really closer to the tank where it needs to be, where I can actually lock my knee in and hold my body up with my legs versus my arms. The Motion Pro cables, like I talked about, stuff got really tied up underneath here. I don't know if you noticed, I did a 2-inch tank lift here. That alleviates a lot of the pressure on the cables coming down into the throttle body. So that really released a bunch of the binding that was going on. So now the cable opens and closes freely. Brake line stuff's done. I'll need to get this this clutch cable wrapped around back behind the oil cooler. I'll have it zip tied to the frame rail and run up. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and put all my safety stuff back on here in the next day or two. It's going to get over to the builder over at Werner's House of Horsepower. We're going to do the startup. Dusty's going to do the startup over there, run it for a second, make sure it's getting oil through everywhere before we actually start it up, crank it over and get everything going. And then we'll flush that oil and put fresh oil in before we start to heat cycle it. And then from there, once it gets heat cycled, we're going on to the dyno. Once I get it back from the dyno, it's good to go. I'll still have a little bit of break in, but really just kind of want to keep it under red line. Man, I cannot wait. We are so close. We are probably, I say probably, we are most likely not going to make it to the March 9th track day at Hallett. If we can, I'll shoot down there, but most likely not. There's going to be a lot of stuff that needs to be tested really before this thing goes on to a track. This thing's going to get some testing while it's on the dyno, I'm sure. I don't know if it's set up for the kind of speeds. It really doesn't have hardly any pressure on it at all. Well, it's got a little bit of pressure on it, but I could drill another hole, release some of that pressure. It really is just trying to hold this up and keep it from being loose and flopping around. That's really all that thing needs to do, but that bearing needs to be able to hold together at the speeds that chain turns. The oil cooler, again, another thing. This needs to be tested. Make sure that it's running well, operating how it needs to be, no leaks. My last one was seeping all the time. Really drove me crazy having to clean that thing constantly. Other than that, I have to keep an eye on my throttle cable stuff. Hopefully I hear from Motion Pro here shortly. Front brakes, I'm good. Rear brake, rear setup is good. These are one of my extra set of wheels, tires. Put this one on because when he runs it on the dyno, I don't want to ruin one of my track tires, so it's got a big Shinko hookup tire here. Still running my same old exhaust. I've blown out the baffle. I may have to get one shooting here ASAP, because I know that's going to affect my dyno. Either that, or I may end up, I don't know, making something custom. I've already thought about cutting this off. If I cut it here, I lose about 6 inches. Take this whole section out. That may get me right back here about to the axle. Would be ideal. So we'll see. Anyway, getting close. Really looking forward to getting out to the track, getting back on this bike again. Man, I'm excited. I need a couple more days off though to get this all done. But it's busy up at work. Sold a bunch of bikes this past weekend. It is definitely spring. Plus, I'm able to get out, and I'm still able to get out and ride the old Softail. Old girl here, Miss Reliable. I had this old girl for, I don't know, 24 years. She's been around a long time. Never let me down. Original Evo motor. The rest of it's been replaced, been crashed. Damn kid, 16-year-old kid pulled out in front of me. 30 days to the date I had that bike. Anyway, we're on to this hot rod. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you soon at the track.